Did it, Bill the Jerry podcast, Bill and Shrimp.
You have less rhythm than me,
I got
which
more
is
rhythm than
hard.
you.
Less rhythm than me, which is hard.
I don't know, man. I had a black person tell me I had good rhythm one time, so
Did
that's
they?
yeah, dude. If someone's gonna, not only that, a bus full of black dudes, because I
Yeah, but
was
they're
able
the.
to do that. Remember the bump, 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 bump. Aaliyah's little song.
Yeah.
We do it with our pads and shit, and I was able to like keep up with them in the rhythm. And they're like, "Oh shit, white boy got rhythm," and
Maybe you got rhythm.
that's been my peak. It's been my peak ever since. I've never surpassed that. Black people telling me I have rhythm.
That's a good one. I don't know, but they're the proprietors of rhythm. They're not the surveyors.
You can't just make up words like that, bro.
I think white people have a better idea of like viewing rhythm. Like we're good critics.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, like we're good at judging if something's good or not.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you come to that conclusion, but hey, because you're such a Matt McCusker fan. The other day, I listened. I listened to the podcast where he originally came out with the fact that he would jerk off the tranny porn.
Yeah.
That's such a funny podcast because you take Shane by Shane's like, you sure you want to fucking
Well,
post this?
because they were talking about like how like different things are brave and they're not, and some people say they are, and he was like, "That's actually brave of you to say."
100% it is.
Like
I
that
wouldn't
was
admit it
actually
if that was the
no.
case for me. I would never have admitted that.
Yeah, but you know what? Shane comes around on it on later episodes. I don't know if you've seen them yet.
Shane's what
Comes around on it on later episodes.
on watching tranny porn?
Yeah, his argument is yeah, but when he's talking about tranny porn, when Shane is, he's talking about a tranny fucking a girl, so there's technically less guy in the room overall.
Oh my
You
god,
see
that
what?
scared the shit. That shit, dude. I went on my camper to get my vape pen, and I had like a jacket on the couch, and it fell in the corner of my eye, and it just looked like a person. I was like, oh my
Just
god,
flew at you.
that scared the fuck out of me.
I got a vacuum in
Yeah,
my
man,
room
there's
that
no
I
reason
can.
to watch tranny porn ever. I'm cool with just pretending that I'm the guy. You know?
Yeah, but I think that's what his argument was though.
Okay, sure, whatever.
And then Shane mentions um, seeing like the trannies like vascular, so it fucks him up. It's like he got like big veins on their arms because guys are
Yeah,
built
yeah,
different than
yeah.
women. Yeah,
Like that,
it's
but
still
that
funny.
that doesn't help his cause. I feel like at all.
No, I don't think
If
so. I
that
just think
vein,
they're
if
just.
that vein's gonna mess you up, that manly arm or wrist, then just while like, but I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to like. It's weird to me for sure.
You can talk
That's
about it
why it's not
without
weird to me.
watching it.
Huh?
You can have an opinion on it without watching it. Like
Yeah, but he was
just
he was watching it though.
Matt was, and Shane was
Yeah.
acting like he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What
not
else
for
is
me, but
out
that
there?
doesn't mean it's for people.
Huh?
It's not for me, but it doesn't mean it isn't for some people.
I don't know. I guess it is one of those like addiction type things, isn't it?
Probably, but what do
Right.
you care? Like as long as I don't
So
have to
I
jack
was
off to it,
proud of him for I was proud of him for admitting it and putting it out because it made for a great podcast.
that's literally ballsy as fuck.
It's about as ballsy as you can get, bro.
Which is weird to me because black girls are never for any of that nonsense,
Oh,
and
that's what
he
I was.
has a black
And
wife.
he had the black wife. That's what I was gonna say. Is that Opie and Anthony were talking to Patrice about how porn's still allowed to be racist, and
Right.
and it was saying it was talking about like is Anthony racist because he doesn't want to watch a black guy pounding a white girl, and I say I don't, but I don't think it's racist because I want to pretend I'm the guy.
I don't
And
think any
I've
of it.
already got to make a leap in fantasy for the guy's dick to be 2 times bigger than mine. For me to fucking pretend like I'm a black dude is a whole nother.
Well, the the whole thing is like it's like an appetite. you can't be mad at somebody because they don't like broccoli, and you can't help what you like. You just eat it or you fuck it, and you either like it or you don't. We don't get to pick what our tastes are.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, they don't get to pick that. Like it,
I've always said that about gay people. That's
but
why I don't hate gay people.
but they do play it off on white girls, especially. I've seen like videos of this where it's like a girl will admit that she doesn't like black guys, and she's a racist because she doesn't like black guys. But black girls all the time say that they're not into white guys, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's the double standard that gets me.
We're not allowed to be racist at all. They are. I
A
mean,
girl,
but
a
I
girl is
can't
not
make an
racist if she
argument of
doesn't.
that could be their reparations. If they agree that that's their reparations, we should let them have it. But the problem is they don't agree that they don't say, okay, these are our reparations.
You're never going to make people like that happy. It's never going to happen.
Jesus, like that. You're trying to get us to take off people like
I don't
that.
give a fuck. I don't
That
mean black people. I mean entitled people who want more than they have, and they want to do
you know
nothing
who you
for it.
actually mean. You mean white women. That's really the main culprit of what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
But the point is that like you can't help that kind of stuff. I do believe that like I think that some gay is a choice too, though.
Yeah.
I think
It's a
some of
little
it's a
bit of both.
choice.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think so. I don't, but I also do think that your taste is your taste. There's certain foods that I just
Yeah.
won't eat. It doesn't mean that I'm racist against fucking cucumbers. I just do not like cucumbers. They're
Yeah.
not good, and
I
I'm
was
not
there.
eating one.
There's a gay dude that takes me to the Tuesday, my home group, the Tuesday meeting. And like he's cool because I can sit there and make gay jokes the whole time I'm with him. That's all I'm doing is coming up with like gay jokes. And he's right there with me. But then like we're sitting there talking to two other guys and like I'm doing what I always do with them, and you can start seeing that they're like trying to take up for gay people now, and I'm like, now you're making it weird. Like
Yeah,
obviously Ryan picks me up every day.
yeah,
Obviously, like he wouldn't
we
hang
get
out with
along.
the dude who hate. He wouldn't hang out with the dude who hates gay people. And then the other guy fucking was acting like he's this savant of comedy. And I'm like, you're getting offended by my gay jokes to a gay dude I hang out with all the time. Like, if you
Yeah,
can't tell I'm joking, you should at least be able to use the common sense to be like, all right, he must be joking, or Ryan wouldn't be hanging out with him.
yeah. It's
But
people
everyone
that
wants to
think,
be a warrior too. They want to fucking.
and I
But
think
I
that's
also
another
said the
thing.
guy. Also during the meeting, the guy had a gray hoodie on, and I said he looked like Roxy Balboa.
Roxy Balboa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good joke, right?
that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's it's not bad.
I
It's
think I
fair.
think he didn't find it. It's funny.
Roxy Balboa. There was a girl named Roxy that lived downtown. You remember when I lived down there? And she would strip in the yard, like because it was a pole outside for tetherball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole apartment, even Heather, we would all just go out on the porch and watch her like practice. She's a redhead.
Really?
Yeah, not real hot.
What do
Fair.
you live in Napoleon Dynamite land?
It was a weird place. That was a weird place. You don't remember that place?
Where was it?
When I was downtown, or they call it uptown, but like when you take a right at the post office downtown,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
straight back there. Yeah, you
There
kind
was
of
a
lived in that
tetherball
neighborhood
court back
later
there.
on. There was just a tether ball, like how the school used to have the tire with the concrete in it and the pole.
Yeah,
That's what there was, which
I
tells
know.
you how
I
small
know what
she
a
was.
tetherball is.
But that's what it is. Yeah, but it wasn't like a public court. It was just in the vacant lot next door.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
know there's not a public tetherball course. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you
Thanks for
asked.
thanks for letting me know that there's not a public tetherball course in St. Augustine.
You're welcome. As
I
long as
didn't.
we're clear on that. As long as we're clear on that point.
So you know, it
You.
wasn't. I don't know if I told you that guy Ryan that sometimes we'll go to his apartment and watch stand up comedy. No,
Uh.
we're fucking, but no, we're not. But no, but he took like we go to his apartment sometimes after the home group, and
Uh.
he has a picture of a musician who's a black guy or a black trans or whatever, and he's wearing a pink unicorn outfit, and he's driving a motorcycle, that is a pink unicorn with a pink unicorn head motorcycle, and the backdrop's pink. And he points, and it's hanging on his wall, and it's autographed and shit. And I'm looking at it, and he goes, "That guy's gay." And I'm like, "No
For real?
shit, for real?
Yeah.
It's the gayest picture. Like, if someone was like, show me the gayest thing you could put in a square." And then like he wanted to point out to me that the guy was gay. I was like, really? I thought he was out here slaying puss.
If it could be, if it could be the gayest thing in reality or in fiction, I would get a still clip of Mr. Slave with a Bunsen burner tube up his ass. That would be my gayest picture ever.
But
Like
that's
with the
not
gerbil.
necessarily gay as a homosexual. There's straight dudes that'll get those things up their ass.
Yeah,
Matt,
but Mr.
Matt
Slave is
McCusker,
dressed like
Matt
a.
McCusker, back to him. I feel like he would
Yeah,
do
but
that.
it's obvious when Mr. Garrett's shoving the fucking
Yeah, you need another
gerbil.
guy in there shoving something. You need.
Yeah,
You just said Mr. Slave. Yeah, you need Mr. Garrison in
I
there
did.
shoving something in there.
Yeah, Mr. Slave.
Mr. Slave. That's so funny.
And
Oh,
it's
so
weird that that wasn't even a big deal back then when we would watch that.
South
Like
Park
South
got away with
Park,
so much, dude.
they
South
got
Park
away
got
with.
away with
You
so
know,
much.
it's. I've watched a documentary on it. A lot of it has to do with how quickly they're able to turn over their episodes, so the people that look into them for bullshit to take out don't have as much time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh, so remember I was gonna hit you up the other night, and you blew me off, and you're
Oh
like, I don't
yeah,
know what I do.
yeah,
No, basically all I was gonna say is, the 8 o'clock here at the Serenity Club, which I've been a piece of shit, and just the earlier you go in the day, you can get some good sobriety. Like one of the ones with your grand sponsor we should do is definitely like the 8:30 in the morning one at the
yeah.
club, because that's going to be one of guys he can relate to, like his peers, you know.
Right,
Um, but I want to bring him to the 8 p.m. one so he can kind of tear a hole in some of these guys' asses that consider themselves old timers. That still like every time like their solution is that they're amazing, and it wasn't AA, the 12 steps, or the Big Book, or a sponsor that got sober. They're just amazing, and they quit. So everyone else
yeah,
should just be like them. That's their message. It's the craziest shit in the world. Um, so I want to bring your grass to I'm hoping your grass positive. Like, if y'all are full of which like some people do call them out. They don't get not called out. You know what I mean? I call
right,
them almost every time. I either leave and go somewhere to vape when they're talking, so I don't get all riled up, or I call them out. I do one of those two things every time. Um, but so we were having a meeting the other day, and I could tell it was going that route. Like some of the people had already shared, and they were actually going through some real struggle. And like both those guys were there, and when both of them are there, I get a little irritated because when both of them
right,
are there, they always both share. Sometimes if it's just one of them, he won't even share. But when it's both of them, they feed off of each other.
right,
And one guy does a disclaimer. The first 2 minutes of his share is word for word the same fucking share, which is all like it's just annoying, and it's not helpful to anybody. There's no message in it. And then he doesn't. The thing is, he gets a lot of laughs, especially from newcomers. He don't
hmm
realize it's his cadence and it's the way he's saying it that's funny.
right,
You know what I mean? So then, like, he becomes kind of popular, and people will be like, "Oh, Mike should share." It's like he really should. He does. He's not giving you a message. He's really
right,
not. He's just in a cadence way. He's being kind of funny, and it's really that he'll just start screaming. His cadence. He'll start real low, and he'll end up in this sentence screaming, and it's kind of a funny cadence, but none of it's really that funny, and there's sure as hell not a message in it. Um, but so I could see that was about to go down. So I go smoke a cigarette, and then there's another guy who has a good message and all that, but he says the same thing over and over again. So I don't hate on him. He's great for newcomers, but I've heard the same.
right,
You know what I mean? So
right.
he was about to share, and I could tell the other two dudes were going to follow him. So I go smoke. I go outside and start hitting the vape. And when I'm out there, there's a dude I've seen a couple of times, uh, kind of a short, stocky, half black kid, wearing like a Harry Potter. What is the fucking? I was wearing one yesterday. I can't remember the like a scarf,
Scarf.
like the red and yellow fucking
Yeah.
whatever that scarf is. And
Scarf in Florida's a lot, bro.
I know it's been cold last few days. Um, the Hogsworth scarf. And he's come walking up and he just said, I'm like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm hitting my vape. And he's like, bad. And you can see he's kind of crying. And I was like, what's wrong, man? I was like, you want to talk about it? And he starts, talking about it. So cool. And then this other guy, there's a few people I don't like at this fucking meeting. And then this other guy that fucking comes out. And just the way this guy was, I assumed he didn't want people um, seeing him like that. And the people that were going to start coming out, I noticed some of the worst advice motherfuckers. Like one dude,
Right.
the dude that came out wasn't even one of those dudes I was talking about, but he's like a fucking typical salesperson. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
won't give anyone a cigarette, but he invited people over to help him move and then didn't pay anybody. And one day
Yeah.
I was like, you got a cigarette? And he goes, I'm not a giver. And I was like, oh, but you're a taker. Because I was like, I just heard about you. I wasn't diving into him, but someone offered up information and like he got all these people to help him move. Was like, oh, I'm gonna give you guys food and drink, and then didn't supply any of that. And then Churcell didn't
Yeah.
pay him. So I used AA to help him move. And then he's telling me he's not a giver when I asked for a cigarette. I was like, oh, but you're a fucking taker. I was like, that's
Right.
nice. So he came out, and I didn't want like he's kind of a new guy too, and I was like, this guy don't need no advice from him. So I pulled him to the front, and he was like, "Thank you." I was like, "Yeah, people are gonna come out and start smoking cigarettes in the back," and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want a bunch of people to see me right now." But just sitting there talking to him, man, I got so much more out of sitting there talking to him than I would have out of that meeting, and like
Yeah.
how much that recharged me to sit there and talk to a newcomer because he was just going through somewhere like he had just relapsed that day. Um, and he lives on a boat, and like the boat rent's coming up, and he's got to leave as soon as possible. But he's got two jobs. And I was just like, man, sanity's been restored, man. Fucking, yeah, sure, you relapsed, but you came to a meeting and talked to another alcoholic about it.
Right.
Which is, I was like, that's not what I do when I relapse, dog.
Well, a lot of us, we call it the meeting before and after the meeting when you're on the porch. So like when I go to an in-person meeting, I usually go like close to an hour early, and I just sit out front and talk to people, and then I'll stay like 30 or 45 minutes after. And another thing we do a lot, we do what road recovery. So the meeting's 2 hours away, and you and 4 or 5 other people load up in a car, and like the
Yeah,
trip to and from the meeting's usually better than the meeting.
we did that for a while when I first came around. We called it outreach
Yes,
because
we call it.
we were doing Picky Paw, so we were trying to promote the fact that we were
Yeah,
having the conference.
yeah. My
Y'all
sponsor's
have
wife.
Picky Paw there, right?
Yeah, yeah. The youth thing. I've never been to it, but I do know what it is.
Fucking amazing, man. Like I said, we had it in St. Augustine, so I went to it. But it's funny because I didn't have money for rooms or anything, but it was in St. Augustine, so I could just go for the day and then sleep at home and then go back for the day. And it was fucking amazing, man. It really was. It was fucking 15, 20,000 young kids in AA.
Yeah,
And there
yeah.
was, big speaker meetings with really good speakers, like multiple times
Hmm.
a day. And it was very interesting, man. If it's
I've been
ever
to a
close
lot of
to you,
things.
go. Huh?
I've been to a lot of things like that, like
But
big
this is like
conventions.
a 4 day fucking festival all in one place.
Yeah, same thing. So it's like
Same
it's
thing.
usually Thursday. Yeah, it's like usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we leave on Sunday. But you still
Oh
catch
wow.
the early meet. Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
a thing called pre. There's a every year, every state has an organization that meets up for one of these things. Like
Yeah.
yeah, the last one I went to was in Savannah, and it's the same thing. It's 4 days. It's multiple speakers. Keynote speakers are usually like AA famous, and in Georgia, it's called prepaid because we don't even have to pay to go. Just by having a home group and paying your dues there, then
Okay.
you get to just go
So
for
it's the
free.
same
Others
thing. It's just not down to young people. It's just not limited to young people.
not limited to young people. But what I was going to say though is that if you get a service position within, whatever your home group is, a lot of those things the hotel can be covered for you.
Yeah.
Especially like you got a state assembly in Florida. You know what that is?
No. Uh.
So state. So all right. So this is what a GSR does. A GSR goes to a business meeting at a local, whatever his homeroom is, and he brings them the questions that, like the things that you'll be voting on the next time that state assembly meets. And you don't get a vote and you don't get a say in the business meeting. All you do is carry the vote from the people to the meeting. Does that make
Gotcha.
sense?
Yeah, yeah.
But and I was always within a day's drive, so I never took the money. But I was always able because I was when I was GSR, they would pay for me to go. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
take the
cool.
money. I would take a little bit of it and like we would go to lunch or something because your
Yeah,
meals and your hotel are free.
yeah. That's
Yeah, so
dope.
there's service positions you can get into where they'll pay for you to go to certain places, and even the
No,
state
yeah, I've heard of
assemblies will.
that. I've heard of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I've heard of that. That's man, that's so crazy, man. Like fucking where you came from and fucking ended up. That's what's crazy
yeah,
about AA, man. You'll get some low bottom drunks and addicts that end up doing stuff like that, and it's just such
yeah,
a night and day difference between who
yeah.
they.
And if you think it's gonna suck at first, but when you start replacing doing drugs with meeting new people and going new places, you realize how much life you're missing out on just staring at the same four walls doing dope every day. Like, even when I've had thoughts of getting high again, I think, then what? Like, after I smoke the joint and I'm sitting there, then what?
Well, that's the
Everything,
issue with it is you become okay just sitting there watching TV now.
yeah. Then, and I've wasted so much of my life. Because I'm not going to lie, I still think about weed all the time. I just don't obsess over it until I use
Yeah, yeah.
because my sanity's been restored. I
And
can
it has been restored.
I can remember good times doing weed and then play the tape all the way through and get to the point where I'm like, this is where it goes. Is it worth it? And not to mention conversations like this or friends like Bob that I would have to give up. It's like they say, the generic saying, I would have to give up everything for one thing.
And I'll tell you, it's there's got to be that demon in your head, or I don't know, maybe there's not. But like, as someone who hasn't relapsed, it is a one chip wonder. You have to have a little voice in your head that goes, "I could just keep it to weed." I'll tell you this: I tried it with just weed, and I couldn't do it. I always reverted back to something else.
This is going to sound crazy, but I literally have like canonized dreams, like dreams that take like they're in order, like episodes or something. And like
Yeah.
in my dreams, a lot of nights in my dreams, I've been secretly smoking weed for a year or two. And I'm
Oh,
still
really?
going to meetings and I found a way to like my head is fucking evil, bro. It's trying me.
It's the disease in us, dude. It's a little. It's like a little monster, dude. That's trying to convince us we can do
And the
that.
reason and the reason I know I'm in a good headspace is that I feel really guilty about it. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the dream, I'm like, I got to quit doing this.
You
And then
get
the
to
other side of
experience
it,
what it's like already.
yeah, all the time. It happens
Yeah.
at least monthly. I have dreams like that where I've been doing drugs for 3 years now and nobody knows about it except me. And it's just weed. So what's the big, you know what I mean? But as soon as I wake up, it's like a falling dream. When you fall and you hit the ground and you wake
Yeah.
up, I jerk awake and it's like, it's not a good
Mine's a
feeling.
semi. My jerk awake one is to getting hit
Yeah.
with a semi by a semi.
Semi. Mine's weed.
It's never been falling. I think one time when I was a kid I had a falling dream, but it's always been for some reason all of a sudden I'm in a road and I turn around and a semi boom. And
Get
that's
you.
what I've had those a bunch of times where I jerk awake.
Dude, I saved my brother from a semi not 30 feet from here. And when I say saved him, I mean like I had to run out and grab him and I slammed him. The wind from the vehicle felt like the car hit us. That's how close it was. It was
Oh
a
my
fucking
god.
semi. It was like a little group of traffic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like three or four
Yeah,
cars,
yeah.
how they group together. Because
Yeah.
we're on a 4-lane split highway here. The speed limit's 65 in front of the restaurant.
Jesus Christ. Why was he standing out there like that?
Because his girlfriend was cheating on him because she was this big whore,
Oh, he was trying to
and
kill himself?
he was trying to kill himself. And what happened was she said something he didn't like, and he smashed his phone. And then he realized that he didn't even have any way to communicate with her anymore. So then he really lost his shit, you know. So he was in the road, and my aunt came in and got me. I was sleeping, and she was like, "He's gonna kill himself. I'm telling you, we can't get him out the road." And I barely got there in time. I mean, he's only alive because of me. My
So he was
kids
really
turned around.
he was committed to it.
Yeah, yeah, he was in a manic. He's got OCD or something. I don't want to diagnose him because I don't know exactly what his issues are. but we came from the same childhood, so I know that he's fucked up too. But
Yeah.
he was in some manic state where he was just like, "Fuck it." Brandon's not a pussy.
No.
He's not. He's absolutely not. So I
Oh,
almost experienced your jerk awake dream, jerk.
that's crazy.
But yeah,
Sorry.
man, it's all right. But yeah, going like I I can't go to many right now because I'm working at the restaurant. And they happen on the weekend. But like next week, my sponsor's going to Soberfest, and we know the people that I've got a lot of friends that run a lot of stuff in AA. Like there's this guy, Big Mike. I'm good friends with him and his son. And you ever been to a countdown?
No. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Where whoever's got all right, so whoever's got a month and whoever's got 2 months, and you keep going up.
Yeah,
What's the highest one you saw?
like 62.
I saw one that was like 72 during that Figgy
Never.
Pop day, which was crazy because it was during Figgy Pop, but there was a lady there with like 72. It was a black lady too.
Yeah. But we talked about this before. The only way to get time like that is with God's grace. Like he'll give
100%.
you enough because like who's to say I won't get cancer and die next year before I get 10? It doesn't mean I did anything wrong.
But something like 70 years also means it was a black lady who you got to admit it's got to be harder for black people to go to AA because it's just one of them. Usually one or two of them, a group of white people. I'm not saying it's that much harder, but there's that little, because it's already hard to go in there.
I think it's harder for women than black people on every level.
Sure, sure, but this is a black woman I'm talking about. So on both of
Right.
those.
Yeah.
But and then when she must have went in at 20 years old, which is young. That's another
Yeah.
thing, going in there young and stuff. So it was a black young 20-year-old woman who went in there and didn't touch alcohol for another 72 years.
Just wrote it out. That's good.
But no, I agree with you. I think it's God. I give God credit for everything. I really do.
It has to be a God thing because who's to say that I could have got if I would have got hit by that semi that night, I would have had 7 years,
Yeah.
6 years, something like that. It was a couple years
Or
back.
if you would have OD before you ever came in.
Or if you would have see, there's a guy that I want you to listen to called Father Martin, and he does like this thing called Chalk Talk.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he takes exception when people say that that foxhole prayers don't work and we shouldn't do them. Like when our ass is on fire and we're like, if you'll just get me out of this,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
They
be good.
work. They
And he's
definitely
like,
work.
yeah, because look where we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sober.
Yeah.
There's evidence that it worked by
And there's
the
no
fact that
bad prayer. To say that people shouldn't pray this way or not do that, that's for crazy. What do you mean?
no,
There's no bad prayers.
there's no bad prayers. But I can tell you, I remember specifically the first time I felt true gratitude, like actually I was mowing lawns. It was freezing fucking cold. It wasn't raining, but it was sleeting. And fucking, we didn't have a lot to do, but it was still a shitty fucking day. And I was
Yeah.
freezing cold. I was covered in mud, and I had to be at a meeting in about 30 minutes. So I went into the three-quarter house, and I remember standing under the water in the shower and just thinking, oh my God, thank God for hot water. Thank God there's a device in the wall that warms this water up and dumps it on me. And then I was like, thank God that I don't have to go down to some river and scoop this water out and warm it myself. And then I went beyond that and I was like, thank God there's even a thing called water that washes us and hydrates us and keeps us alive. And it was the first true encounter with like base gratitude where I was like, just thank God there's a thing called water that we can drink and live off of that also cleans our bodies. How amazing is God?
Well, God's system is perfect. It just
I,
is. And I don't have time to get into it, but even like my spiritual beliefs even explains starving black African kids.
well,
Which
we
in
talked
a
about
full
that before.
version, like I guess for anyone who already knows what it is, would be the egg. Not perfectly.
Yeah,
That's not perfectly what I think, but basically
right.
the egg. You
Yeah, the
know?
gold egg. But I do think that we're all experiencing the same life on different timelines at the exact same time.
I'm starting to see that too, especially the more dusters I did. I started to realize there's multiple timelines we don't even see that we're on top of.
Right.
And I was
Well, there's a
killing
thing.
myself with the duster, but I wasn't quite dying, but I was killing myself. So I was falling in and out of these different fucking timelines. I'm telling you, I was.
Well,
I know this
what there's
hallucinations was just me seeing shit I wasn't supposed to see. It's not that they weren't real. I wasn't in that timeline, but I was kind of fucking slipping into it.
Well, there's a thing called quantum consciousness where, like, say I just slipped off of this chair and died, and you just watched me slip and fall and hit my head. But there's another universe where I turn slightly at the last minute and I don't fall and I
Yeah.
don't die. And what happens is your consciousness slips from this universe to that
Yeah.
universe at the moment of death.
Yeah. There's a scenario where you die and I see you die. Then there's another one that breaks off where you don't die and I see you not die.
And not only is there another one that you see me not die, but there's a million billion where I do and a million trillion where I don't.
And you know, and for anyone to say that's not possible is crazy because space is infinite. If you really can which I don't think we can understand infinite, but if you really try to understand what infinite is, that means not only is there an infinite amount of places for that to happen, but
Right.
if time's infinite, which it is, then why there could be a universe where we only eat ice cream and it's completely normal because nobody knows anything but eating ice cream. And it
No,
sounds
and that,
silly, but if
no,
you know, I'm just using that as an example.
yeah,
But
no, I'm just, well, the reason that Rick and Morty is so appealing is because they dive into that idea a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
But the another one that I think about a lot is like when teachers or people used to tell me I'm not the center of the universe. But hear me out. If it's infinite in every direction, everyone is the center of every
I
universe.
agree. I agree.
So it's like
Or if,
actually,
like you're
yeah,
saying, if me
yeah,
and you are
yeah,
the same consciousness experiencing life simultaneously,
yeah.
then we are the sooner. Then we are the sooner. The issue is we're not realizing that me and you are one, which is what fucking ancient religions and spiritual paths have been telling us. Everyone basically the more research you do about spirituality, the more you land into we're all one, and people
Right.
really just don't understand that we are all just one big consciousness, and like yeah, it's just so mind blowing, dog. It's so hard to
Almost,
put into words.
almost every night, I'll be watching TV, and it's when I'm getting close to bedtime. I'll have this thought where it's like, how weird is it that there's anything, that there's stuff?
Exactly.
Where the fuck did this stuff come from? What do you mean there was a big bang and now I'm watching Rick and Morty before I go to bed? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, one thing I'm
It isn't.
convinced of for
It would have
sure
been
is
so
that
easy.
a black hole is just another Big Bang.
They, I don't know because it's on such a small scale. I think that your idea that the universe is breathing is a better one. I don't know if you remember telling me, but years ago you were like, the the idea is that gravity pulls it back together. So everything condenses down and it explodes out
Yeah.
and then slowly comes back together and
It's
explodes
not
out.
doing that in
That
one spot, it's doing that in multiple spots. That's what black holes are.
maybe. I think that what
Dude,
black holes
but
are,
you know where I came up with that conclusion was drawing the flower of life. And in the flower of
right,
life, there what you're talking about is an equinox, right? There's if you look at the flower of life, it's just a bunch of equinoxes crossing each other.
well,
So
what
that
I
makes me
was,
believe that's what black holes are doing is that they're sucking in new universes and shooting out old new ones, or sucking in old ones, shooting out new ones, or maybe they're all the same age. If you, dude, I'm telling you, get a compass
the,
and draw the flower of life and just look
I,
at it for a while, and it will
what
kind of
I'm,
change the way you understand the universe, which is exactly what spirit science said, and that's exactly why I did it, and they were right. I don't know why they were right, but they were.
I understand and I will do that. But the idea that I have is that these black holes that are forming are just packages of information waiting to be collapsed. So what'll happen is
Same
slowly
thing, though. Same thing. Same thing.
black holes, black holes will eat everything, including us, and
Yeah.
then the black holes will come together. And when there's nothing but black holes left in the universe, and they start moving to each other, that's when they form what's called a primeval atom, which is the
I watched the video that you watched. I promise. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I
Where
don't know
you
what video you
you
mean.
keep going. You got to watch this video if you haven't seen it. Where if you just keep going far enough in time, eventually there's nothing but black holes left, and they basically do exactly what you just said.
I haven't seen a video that says that, but I got the idea from something that you said a long time ago. And I just think that I don't think that white holes are the other side of black holes. It just doesn't feel right to me.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not a
But
fucking scientist. Who
what
knows?
we're both talking about is kind of the same, just different versions of it. It sounds like.
It's called the Big Crunch, is what it's called. But yeah, different versions of it. See,
Yeah,
I think that all the black holes start pulling so much on each other that they collapse into a singularity, the
they do.
primeval
They
atom,
do.
and then something destabilizes it and explodes out in a new universe.
Yeah. Well, what I said could be happening until what you said happens.
And what makes me
See
think
what I'm
that,
saying?
is that like theory of as above so below, because everything, the light in this room, it was once off. There was a
Yeah.
time when it was not in here showing any light. And there
Yeah.
will be a time when that light burns out and turns back off.
Yeah.
Your heartbeat, sex, everything is 1 0, 1 0, 1 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is that way.
Yeah.
You're breathing. Everything's in, out, up, down,
Yeah.
left, right. 1 0, one
It's all
zero.
mathematically perfect. Then you got the Fibonacci spiral. But I want to go back to something you were kind of saying, which was fuck, I don't want to lose it. So how, like, you're talking about, like, how did the Big Bang do, or not? You didn't say how, but the Big Bang turned into me watching Rick and Morty.
Right.
Um, the crazy thing about that is, let's say that's all, and me or you, we both believe in God. We both believe it was God that did all that. But
Right.
let's say that we're wrong, and it's what atheists say, which is crazy to me, which is that it's all a coincidence, which is basically what they're
Right.
saying boiled down. So even if it's all a coincidence, the Big Bang and all that turns into us watching Rick and Morty. Now let's say we die, and let's say the universe implodes. We could still end up coming back, because if this all once happened once, it could all happen again, even on a
Right.
coincidence standpoint. Which,
Right.
for it to be a coincidence, like the best thing I heard in comparison to this all being a coincidence, and it's actually even crazier. This isn't even a good metaphor, because it's even crazier than this metaphor. But it's like a tornado going through a junkyard and then putting down a Bentley, perfectly
Right.
made.
Well, the theory I've heard is it's like lightning striking a beach and creating a Rolex.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel
No. Yeah.
what's even crazier is both of our examples. The universe creating itself is even crazier than both of those examples. It's almost like
And
lightning hitting the beach. It's like lightning hitting the beach and making 5,000 Rolexes.
right. But the problem with infinity is that that's absolutely happening somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for
Yeah.
sure.
There's well, you got to think. Infinite means forever and ever and ever, and like there's
Yeah.
no way to wrap our hands around what
There's
forever
not.
really means. And there
There's not.
was one of the, and I don't remember if it was Brian Cox or Brian Green or whatever that was talking about it, but he was like, infinite, in an infinite universe, we're not talking about a multiverse here. We're just talking about the one that we're actually in right now. That it's so big that there's another Earth out there where we're having the same conversation
Yeah.
in this universe, not after the crunch and implode and explode.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about quantum consciousness, and I'm not talking about the golden egg. I'm talking about this universe is so big that there's
Yeah.
another Jody and another Dylan on another Earth, and the only difference is I didn't pick my nose just now, and that's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that's even crazier to me, bro.
So you imagine God sitting up there, and so let's say there is a beginning of time. The only way there's a beginning of time is if all this already happened and it imploded itself and it restarted, right?
It has to
Let's
come
say
from
God's sitting
somewhere.
there. So God already created a universe, it all came back and imploded, and quadrillions of years have gone by and it all came back, and then now here's God again, creating the
Right.
universe again. He's sitting in complete just space. There's nothing, right?
Right.
He's God. He can do whatever he wants. So he's going, let me experience all experiences. I'm just going to do it simultaneously.
Right. I think about that too. I don't know if that's what's
He doesn't
happening.
have any boundaries.
Right.
So that's what we are. We're just God experiencing himself in every form possible simultaneously. That's
You want to
why
hear?
that's why really smart people say time is an illusion.
Time is based on multiple things. Gravity, time, and electricity are
On
all the
Earth,
same phenomenon.
time on Earth is based on certain things.
no,
And this is
time has. Well, no, there's rules in this universe that
in this
the
universe. That's what
rules
I'm saying.
in this universe. There's rules called physics that
Yeah,
time, and other entities in this universe must follow these rules, or they do. I don't know
yeah,
if they must, but they do. So, like, if you're not all right, say let's just bear with me for a minute. Say
yeah.
that you're moving at the speed of light,
You're,
and you're
this
just
is what Brian Cox said real quick though. This is
let's
a Brian Cox quote what you're about to say, but say it for the audience. I know exactly what you're about to say.
say that you are moving from your door of your camper to where you're sitting at the speed of light. This isn't a
Mhm.
Brian Cox thing. This is a physics thing.
No, but I heard him talk about it though.
If you, they all try to talk about time dilation because it's hard
Yeah,
for people to understand it. And I'm not saying it's hard for you to, but what will
yeah, yeah,
happen is that if you run back and forth from the front of your camper to there at the speed of light for 1 year, when you stop moving, it doesn't matter where you go. You don't have to go
yeah,
way out in the
yeah, yeah.
universe. You can do it right where you
Just the
are. If
fact
you
of moving at
vibrate,
the speed of light,
just the fact that you're moving at the speed of the light, it would be 10 years for
it
me.
distorts time. Yeah,
It dilates it, is what it
yeah.
does. I got a, I got another
Real quick,
scary
the way I
theory.
heard Brian Cox say it was, if we were able to go to like a star that's 5,000 light years away, right, and we went there at the
Right,
speed of light. Let's say it took us 10 minutes. By the time you get there, already
right.
1,000,000 years has gone by on Earth.
I don't know what the equation is, but I do
So,
know that
but I don't
time.
have the equation right either. But what he was trying to say is, if we went to a place that was real far away and we used the speed of light, you may get there in 6 months or a year, but so much time has gone by on Earth that you can't relay the information back because
You know,
everyone's already dead.
it's even creepier than that because not only is movement, which is what that is, tied to how time passes,
Yeah,
but so is size. So gravity is also tied to it. If you didn't move at all, and where our moon was a giant black hole that doesn't eat us,
yeah,
pulled up next to Earth, and you went close enough to that black hole, not moving at all, just park
yeah.
next to it, the same exact dilation will occur.
Did you see Interstellar?
Yeah,
I
and
just watched that. I just watched
yeah,
that, and it's actually really
but
good.
but I knew it before that because me and
Yeah,
Heather used
I
to get
didn't.
high
I
and
didn't
watch the
really. I didn't know
universe.
being next to a black hole did that until I watched that
Yeah,
movie.
I used to get high and watch the universe all the time, the show
We
on
were
history.
movies together back in the day.
And then
We
even when
always
I was
loved
in
that shit.
prison, yeah, when I was in prison, I read physics books
Yeah,
because
yeah, mind blowing.
yeah, because it's really like I think that like thinking about deep physics takes me more out of myself than porno or movies or cartoons. Like
Yeah.
I get a special high whenever I think about why things function the way they do. And here's a creepy one I want to touch on before we move on too far from God.
Well,
Dude,
I don't. There's something I don't want to forget about either. So remind
go
me real
ahead.
quick.
I can put a pin in mine.
Basically, all I was gonna say was that you were saying these are all laws within our universe. So that's what
Right.
I'm saying. I think the souls, when I say time's a construct, that means like a human like our spirit doesn't have that construct. This is like when Ari Shafir smoked that big hit of salvia, and to this day he swears that he was living under the water in a different
Yeah.
universe, had a children and kid, and he was there for 6 months, but back on land it was 5 minutes. I think
Right.
that his soul went somewhere and was there
Even,
for what is 6 months, because I feel like the spirit world's time and our time is going to be two different beats.
well, imagine if the brain's capable of doing that. It might be part of what happens as you die. Like you might live 5
100%.
lifetimes as you're dying.
Yeah. That when they say your life flashes before your eyes, that may be like you really do go through a whole film strip of your life, and in your human body it feels like 30 seconds. But maybe you really
And,
do. Maybe that's what we're doing right now. Maybe me and you've already died, and this is just a
yeah,
oh my god.
yeah, I know. I think about that. I think about that.
Dude, I'm not scared of death anymore though. I'm really not. I'm truly not.
I'm not cool with it yet. I don't. I'm
I'm
not cool because I
completely cool
just.
with it. I'm not like looking to die anytime soon. But like
I'm
when
not.
we die, I think we come back and live a different life, and that life may be better or worse. So you might as well just try to be happy where you're at right now in the moment, because you don't. Because
Yeah.
like reincarnation does kind of keep me lazy too, though. Because I'm like, oh, I could just do that in another life. But
Right.
at the same time, it's like that next life, it may be it may be 100 more lives before I can come back and even think about being a stand-up comic. You know what I mean?
On on the lazy thing though, like something that Andrew Tate, and I don't quote him much, but he is right about some things. Like
I
the
love
guy's
Andrew
not an
Tate, bro.
idiot.
I
And
love
what he
Andrew Tate.
says, and what he says is, when him and his brother got their first like $100,000, they went and bought a fucking supercar, not a house, not a place to rent, not food, because he was like, either I'm gonna be fucking broke forever or I'm gonna be super rich. The slaves live in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. And being broke, like I sleep in a lot of days. I hang out and talk to you. Like I have a lot of free. There's a lot of freedom that's not tied up in a mortgage and having to make 2 car payments. And I got a wife at home that I have to keep. Like me and my kids are actually got a pretty cool life, and we're
Yeah,
poor. We're very poor.
yeah, yeah. No,
There's
that's a
freedom
very
in
strong statement. You're going to be on one side or the other. I'm telling. I was talking to someone the other day. He was 11 Bang Bang, which is 11 Bravo infantry in the army, and he's sober
uh huh
now. And I knew him from back in the day. And he actually, I knew him from selling cars, but he ended up selling roofs too. And he made like 200 grand a year. So, and he was
right
talking about when he was making that kind of money, and then when I had 100K in the bank, and we were talking about how at the very least we definitely weren't more happy. Me and him both right now are living off almost no money. Especially me.
right
He gets money from the military because he got hurt over in Iraq, but he doesn't make
uh
that
huh
much. So he's making enough to where he could pay the halfway house he's at and stuff like that. I'm at a place at my mom's backyard, so we're both in a place where we're both living off the food bank in terms of eating.
right
I am
right
just as happy, and he agrees that we're just as happy, if not happier now, than when we had a
right.
bunch of money. But I'm
Where
happy
you're
now
not.
because I'm also sober too. That is the foundation of all.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of money. I've had a good job in sobriety, and I've got where I'm at now, and like I'm just fine with either. Like
Yeah,
just I see people slaving, just
yeah,
like you're literally a slave to Netflix. You're literally not you, but
yeah.
people are literally a slave, and if you want to get into it, I don't know if you know the differences between like 1984 and fucking Brave New World. Do you understand the differences in those two?
You're talking about the
Have
book
you read
1984, right?
and Brave New World by Aldous Huxley?
No, I don't know. I don't. I'm not familiar with the Brave New World at all.
All right, so 1984 is complete oppression and oversight and uh,
Government takes
uh,
over.
government. It's a crackdown, but Aldous Huxley had a different idea for how they were going to enslave us, and he's going to do it. They're going to do it with good food that's cheap, like
Mhm.
McDonald's. They were going to do it with entertainment, like Netflix. Like so, really, the control that has formed, like in Russia during the the Cold War years, they had 1984 going on over there. You do it
Yeah,
like North Korea, but the rest of the world uses, and this is what Aldous Huxley said. They were going to use capitalism to control us through joy, and it's kind of what's happening.
yeah, yeah. Dude, it's crazy to talk about that, man. Fucking when it comes to like being happy with where you're at. And what
Yeah.
scares me about reincarnation is places like North Korea. Because if reincarnation
Yes.
is real and like my theory is real, that means I'm gonna live as someone in North Korea as in North Korea one day. I'm
Eventually.
gonna come
Yeah.
back and be a North Korean one day.
Right.
But at the
Yeah.
same
That one
time, I'm gonna
sucks.
also come back and I'm also gonna be a I'm gonna get to be Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Yeah. You get to come. Maybe when you're Andrew Tate, I'll be his brother.
I do believe. What do you think about like soul brothers? Like you reincarnate with certain group of people.
I believe that I feel more connected to some people for no reason, like
Yeah.
not a clear, like we clearly connect for reasons that are clear, but there's also places where we connect where it's not so obvious why. We just
Yes,
do.
and we and me and you, and also me and you clicked from minute one.
Right. And there's been
Before
people
we
like
even
that.
related on a bunch of stuff, we clicked
Yeah.
from like second from our. And it was funny
Yeah.
because I actually had an agenda and I was trying to make that happen, but I
hmm
like it went beyond anything that I was trying to make happen.
Yeah. And no matter how many disagreements or fights we've had, I've never thought we weren't friends, even for a
No,
second.
And you know
Like,
what's funny is I went like we talked about. I went into it with an agenda to get you to like me so I can move in. But I
right.
remember distinctly, like 5 minutes into our conversation, being like that almost going out the window and be like, oh, this. Even if I get him to let me move in or not, like this is my boy. And I've had
Yeah,
that with a few different people where like I just clicked with them immediately. Like,
there's
I
some
can
people in
usually
AA
tell
like
if I'm gonna
that.
be friends with someone for 20 years. I can usually tell in, like, 5 minutes of conversation if I'm gonna be long-term friends with these people with this guy.
There's signals that your brain's getting that like you're registering these little like, oh shit. I know what you mean. There's like a guy named Kyle, Bob, Matt, you, Lee. Like there's people that like I was just you just click with them. It
Yeah.
doesn't I don't know if it's supposed to make sense.
Dude, that guy Jit, and I hate that he kinda ruined our friendship, and I still got love for the guy. But I remember I met him one time and he didn't talk when I brought out beers and cigarettes to those 15 gangsters outside my door just to become friends. But, like, 3 days later, he's walking through the courtyard, I'm on the back porch trying to be by myself, and he comes walking up, and I know he had an agenda of, "What can I get out of this white boy?" So
Right,
immediately in my head, I'm like, "Man, I don't want this motherfucker to come talk to me." But there was
right,
another voice in my head that goes, "You're gonna end up being really good friends with this guy." And I'll
right.
get those voices in my head sometimes that doesn't make sense at all for where I'm at in the moment, but actually end up being true.
I have the good conscience voice thing where like I'll be walking through town going into a store and there'll be a piece of trash on the ground and my brain goes pick that up.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and there's 150 or 500 of these signals every day. And I
mhm,
wonder where I would be in life if just 1 month, every time the voice, it's a good voice. So it's not like it's telling me to do bad shit. It's
yeah,
not like, it's not like I would end up fucking dogs or shooting the president or whatever.
yeah,
Take,
yeah.
insert your evil ideas. But if I just followed it for just 1 month, I wonder where I would
I
be.
love your I love your choices and examples though.
Yeah.
Fucking a dog or shooting a president. That's a hell of a two examples right
Those are terrible things.
Fucking dog or shooting a president. All right, where are we at right now? Because that's a clip. All right, about 50 minutes, man. That's a clip right there.
And before we get too far away from the existential stuff, you know, a weird, scary thought that I have, and you'll have to hear me out on it, but
Yeah,
sometimes I wonder if we're smarter than God. Because think about it. AI is about to be God level status, right?
yeah,
We're dumb. We created AI, but we're not as smart as it. Maybe God turned a key that was beyond himself when he started the universe. Maybe we
yeah.
can't find God.
Maybe we are AI creating another AI.
And that's possible too. But I just think about people talking about how like AI will be God level soon, and it's like, yeah, but a bunch of dumb monkeys made it.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
like
what if?
as above, so below.
And if you were going to create an ecosystem, wouldn't you want to create one that was better than what you are? If you
No,
had the
no, because
ability,
I've seen Terminator.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's the issue. Is God didn't watch Terminator before He made us.
That's and now, but that's a scary. And I'm not saying that's a good thought because I don't like that one when it comes up. It's not
But
something that I
ultimately,
like.
there's no bad or good we can do because ultimately, like you said,
It all balances.
a bunch of black holes are gonna suck us in, make it, and it's all gonna start again. Everything we've done, like I think all of existence does die at some point, but I think all of existence has already died a bunch of times and came back, and it's all a
I
big
think that's
circle.
right.
It's all a bunch of little circles. And the crazy thing is, it all ends up in a big circle. That's again why you need to draw the flower of life, because the flower of life is a bunch of circles, and as you look into it and look at it closer, there's a bunch of big bangs collapsing on each other. But
Speaking
ultimately,
of
it's a bunch of circles, and even the flower of life itself is a big circle.
right, I understand what you're talking about fractals and infinite
Yeah,
possibilities.
sacred geometry.
Yeah, yeah, fractals.
Yeah.
They're super cool and they're super complicated.
Well, flower of life's not a fractal though. It's not
It
like
is
you
as you
zoom in
branch it
on it. There's
out.
another flower of life inside of it.
Yeah, but you could zoom out infinitely by
Sure,
drawing it, right?
you could do
That's a
that. Yeah.
fractal.
Yeah. You could make a fractal out of the flower of life. Yeah.
Right.
You know what's crazy, dude? As much as I love Lee and he's not a dumb person, I don't feel like he can
He's
keep
not.
up with these conversations.
He's not existential at all.
No.
He's
Same
he's
thing with
very
Miranda. Like
practical.
him and Miranda, my sister, like when it comes to testing, they would blow me and you out of the water. It wouldn't even
Right.
be comparable. But in terms of the conversation we're having now, neither one of them would be able to really keep up.
It takes a certain type of person. Brandon's
There's
pretty
two
good
different
at it.
kinds of intelligence.
Dude, me and Brandon were getting. You know the new light bulbs? Well, they're not new anymore, but the ones that are like twisty.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon were getting high one day. I'll never forget this moment. We're smoking a joint on my dad's porch, and he just points up and he goes, "Look, holy shit! You get it?
Well, it's
Did you
God food.
freeze?" Yeah, it's god food. Because it's like it looked like a swirly piece of shit,
Yeah, I
but it
agree.
was in the
That's pretty
moment,
good.
dude. I was that's
That's pretty
good,
good.
dude.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So Brandon, I just say that to say that
I do love simple jokes like that.
yes.
Yeah, I love simple jokes like that.
So you like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing? You think that'll work into something?
What do you mean? Oh, say it again.
Yeah. Well, it could be built anyway after you understand what the structure is, but
Well,
it's like
really, like any fuck, any concept or idea could be turned into a joke. Really,
right,
you know what I mean? So there's
and
definitely a concept there.
yeah, and it might not be that like rap is the bad thing. It, you know what I mean? Like you can make the thing that's worse than Jeffrey Dahmer, whatever you want it to be, whatever seems to be
Exactly.
funniest.
Yeah.
But the idea is that insert idea is worse for black people
Oh yeah.
than Jeffrey Dahmer. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to use uh, recent rap as the bad thing.
Cardi B is worse for women
Yeah,
than you know. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Fucking what is it? Fucking uh fuck. I don't know.
you got to just think of something that's bad. Cardi B is the worst thing to
Well,
happen to women since Andrew Tate.
yeah. 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 Rebates are the best thing to happen to Jews since fucking Netanyahu.
Yeah, exactly. So
Rebates. Jews love rebates.
that's the structure of the joke. Though I think it's got a good
Yeah.
structure.
It's a good structure. Yeah.
When you can insert and take in and fit, then you know you got a good joke. I think
Yeah. 100%.
a good premise. Excuse me. You know what I mean?
There was someone the other day that told me I had a bad joke. That the joke I was saying wasn't that funny, and then he was like, "I'm a big connoisseur of stand up." I was like, "Why don't you try it?" He's like, "No, I would never try it." And then he started to try to tell me how joke writing works and how you start with a premise, and then I'm like, "Really, really, dude? That's great. Thanks for telling me how jokes work, especially
Appreciate it,
someone
bro.
who's been actually trying to do it." Really,
I think that the fuck.
when you try to do an art form and you go on stage and stuff, there's two things that bothers me now, and it's funny because you started to do it, but you changed it into you writing yourself jokes. But there's two things that bother you when you start getting on stage. One, everyone starts trying to give you jokes, which
Right,
defeats the purpose. And then the other
right,
one is people doing something like trying to teach you how the structure of a joke works.
right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. And now when people
It's
go, people do it all the time. They go, "I got a joke for you," and then now I used to just be like, "No, I don't want to hear it." Like I don't. Now I just go, "Okay, yeah, I listen to it." I know I'm never going to use it, but I don't like it because let's say it's a joke I like. Now I'm not even going to come up with anything like it on my own.
right. You've actually handicapped me because I'm not going to copycat somebody's bullshit,
I'm
even if
not
it's
if
good
it's good.
bullshit.
I'm not going to copycat it in any means that in any way. There's a
Yeah, you
joke
really.
Kyle Patel has. There's a joke Kyle Patel gave me a long time ago before anyone was talking about doing stand up comedy, and I need to remind them of it. Because he's someone he talked about he wants to go on stage too. And it's a great joke and I've always wanted to use it, but I never will. But the joke is you can still hear me, right?
Yep, I can hear you good.
Yeah. So the joke is down south we got a bunch of words like y'all and nigger.
That's a
You're
hard
supposed
one.
to use more than one. You're supposed to be like y'all, biscuits and gravy. You're supposed to use one more than just y'all. A couple different examples of the southern words, and then nigger with a hard R. We
Dude,
got
it's
certain
so
words here in
funny.
the South. Grits, y'all, hey, nigger.
My Riley, my daughter's gay, so she's always talking. She's not weird about it, but she's always
Yeah,
talking to like woke type people. And like
yeah.
if she's on call and she gets too near me, sometimes I'll just go nigger 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 nigger. Nigger. She fucking flips out.
Dude, I tell
But
you
you know
what
what?
Lee did to me when I was.
All her friends love us, love me.
Oh yeah, I told you about Church's Chicken that Lee did to me, right?
What do you do?
And I love Church's Chicken. So there was I was in when I lived in South Daytona. I was the only white dude. I was the only white dude. So like it was very easy to remember me and my Malibu. You know what
Right,
I mean? And and there was no good restaurants, no good fast food places around, but there was a Church's. And and not only is it a Church's, but it's a Church's in an all black neighborhood, which means the chicken's gonna be fire. And I love the
right,
honey butter biscuits. I'm in
right.
the drive-through. I'm in the drive-through at the speaker, and I'm telling Lee, and Lee's on my Bluetooth, and I tell Lee, I'm like, hold on, I'm at the speaker, and he knows I'm at Church's, and he goes, nigger, 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 nigger. And the lady at the speaker goes, "Excuse me, sir." Like she let me know she heard it. So like, "Excuse me, sir," and I just drove away, and I was never able to go to that that Church's ever again. And it was right
I've got
next to my house.
I've got a similar Lee story to that. Actually, he was a lot nicer though, because I was on my way back from church with a girlfriend of mine and her whole family, and he called, and I was like, "Hey, I'm in the car with my girlfriend's family. Don't say anything weird." And he just started repeating penis, 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 penis,
So
which was still no, that's
that's
not that
him.
bad.
That's him at his best behavior.
Yeah, he was behaving well because that could have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
fucking
But
catastrophic. He could have been like
he couldn't not do anything. He couldn't not do anything.
he could not do anything. He had to do some bullshit.
Yeah. Shit, man. We nailed it, huh?
Yeah, because I'm about done right now.
Going.
I'm packing up the shrimps. Oh,
Perfect,
before
dog.
we go though, what did you think about the fucking eating ass joke? That
The
one's
what?
good too. Like eating ass is like eating a black jelly bean instead of a pink starburst. Like, why would anybody do
That's the
that?
one I was trying to get you to repeat. That's the one I like that one even more.
I think that's a good joke. I think that's a solid
Yeah.
premise because
I
it's
still
so
eat, but
crazy.
you go, yeah, pink jelly beans are better, but I still eat the black ones. Yeah.
But
That's
I,
a great
but I,
joke.
but I still, yeah, I still do it. You
I
know?
still do it. Yeah, yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
joke. That's the kind of joke that'll get you pussy afterwards too.
probably.
Did you
The
remember
first time,
funny people, Seth Rogen's writing jokes for Adam Sandler and then he's doing some for his own. He's like, what, you never want to get laid? He's like, all you do is talk about jerking off.
yeah.
No, that's a
Oh,
really good one.
what are you doing? Okay. Hey, are we at the time?
Yeah. I love you, man.
I love you too, bud.
Love you, bro. What's up,
Bye,
kiddo?
dude. Dylan said, "Hey,
What you say?
is that creepy guy?" Dylan's sober.
Do I look creepy?
She walked off. She
Hey, tell her I told
she
her to go
believes.
fuck herself.
Yeah, that would be better.
I
Dylan
love
said,
you,
"Don't
dog.
judge people by what other people say."
No, I said tell her to go fuck herself.
Love you, bud.
I love you.